What is up, everybody? We are finally back. We've been gone for the last 2 weeks for multiple reasons. Sick 1 week, and then getting ready to put this thing on my finger the next last week. So been a little busy, but we're back. So we do what we do. So you know where we go from here. I bring in usual suspect number one is numero dos. Makes perfect sense to me. What's up, man?
Man, what's up, everybody? Things are a little bit different this week. Josh's hand seemed a little bit heavier, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, very.
Man, Josh got married. It was amazing ceremony. It was a great day.
In the middle of nowhere. You were gonna say that. Yeah.
It was a fun place. Huh?
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. I actually like that part. Like, I really like those like obscure, like out there in the middle of nowhere type places. Like,
yeah,
I had no problem being away from civilization. It was great.
Yeah, it was when I was giving directions. It was like, okay, you get to the middle of nowhere, and then you go a little bit farther.
I've never been through a border patrol checkpoint like that before. I was super excited to find out all about that. They didn't talk to me at all. They didn't talk to me at all. They were just like, "Are you good?" I was drunk as fuck. I was just sitting there being quiet in the passenger seat. I had a blast. For those of y'all that for serious, Josh actually got married this weekend. This is not a work.
Yeah, this is real. Like I don't wear shit.
Yeah, I don't wear. Josh got married. It was a great ceremony. It really was a fun day. It was why we took Thursday night off. Like we just had to. Everybody was doing some things, and I am super excited to be back. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. JoJo brings up a great point in the comments section already.
Before we get to that, we have one other usual suspect in the back. So you bring
it showed up.
Yay, Mel. The Yay Mel moment of the night.
It's me.
What's up, Mel?
Yay Mel moment. I love it.
We always got it. We enjoy when we have those. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys? Congratulations, Josh.
Thank you very much.
I didn't make it because my car decided to not drive real good. I know.
It's all good.
Stupid construction here in San Antonio. It's gotten to me twice already.
Well,
two flat tires in 2 months.
Be glad that it happened to you closer to home than closer to the wedding, because
you've
been in the middle of nowhere with no help.
I know.
Yeah,
other than us, there was nobody there.
We were on our way to the venue, and I was like, "Crap, I forgot an undershirt." And so I was like, maybe there'll be something, but we were running late. And the closer and closer we got, I started being like, yeah, there's just nothing out here. There's nothing out there. But I think it's like, that's one of my favorite things. Like once you got out there, like the place that we were at was really nice. It was really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Kind of like a hidden
venue. That was a really nice place.
Yeah.
That's because Josh's new wife didn't want him to run anywhere. There was nowhere to go.
Yeah, you know, if he'd have run for it out there, he'd have died of starvation.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it anywhere. There was nowhere to go. There was
nowhere to go.
Nowhere to run.
He'd have got to somewhere in Mexico before he'd got back to
We were much closer to Mexico for
sure.
Yeah,
it was close. That's what I was wondering too. At one point, I was standing outside. I was looking at each direction. I was like, I wonder if I can see Mexico from there.
Almost. On a clear day, or maybe on top of the venue.
Let me say this, guys. I've had some really bad luck with automobiles lately. Yeah. My car got stolen yesterday. A car with a dead battery was stolen out of my driveway.
That was you?
That was me.
A dead battery?
It was a dead battery because what they're also going to find out, and I really hope that they find out soon, the reason why the battery was dead was because it has a broken rear differential. And I was waiting for the mechanic to come get it, so what was the point of having a battery in it?
Yeah, sure. But
so
now
I hope
it didn't need a battery, has it?
And I hope if they're watching, if they're wrestling fans, they're watching, I hope the car falls on you when you're fixing it.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Fuck you if you're watching and don't watch anymore.
Fuck you if you're watching.
But tell your friends to watch, but don't watch. You don't watch.
You don't watch. Tell your friends to watch.
Log off.
I just saw Michael said congrats. Thanks, Michael.
Horrible luck, guys.
So
that's terrible.
Yeah, so this is something that'll kind of lead us into some conversations that we all three can talk about. The last 2 weeks we've been gone. I was able to attend AEW San Antonio. Numero dos was last night, and then of course Mel was at both. I was gonna say, she was at both of them. So the show we can start with that one and then go to yesterday's.
Yeah, start with y'all.
Because
you know what I'd like to say?
Yeah.
Really quickly, I like to say that the one in San Antonio was like a big indie show, and I think somebody else had said that too. Maybe Knopf said that, and I loved it because everywhere you turned, you knew somebody in wrestling. I was yay!
My son Charlie was so freaking frustrated because we were like hungry driving to the venue. So then we get there, it's like, okay, well, let's go get something to eat. It's like, well, let's go see where the seats are first. Took like 40 minutes for us to get to the line to go get food because everywhere, hey John, hey, what's going on? Like we couldn't make. He's like, why do you know everybody? I was just like, I don't know.
It was so much fun though. I loved it. I loved seeing everybody.
Yeah, it was so great. And then even leaving at the end, it's like I ran into like 4 or 5 more people after the show that I didn't run into in the beginning. It's like, geez, we're everywhere. It's awesome. Like that was so great. Especially like, we haven't been doing a lot of shows still, we're getting there, but the momentum's picking up. But yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it was great seeing Pitt alumni at the show, not technically Dynamite, of course, but we're talking about, how they filmed the Dark and all that stuff. It started off with, I missed the first match because we were still in line getting food so I think the Renegade, what was the first match? It was, the
Renegade Twins. Well, it was Charlotte versus Nyla, but no, I'm sorry. It was Robin versus Nyla, but Charlotte took the pin.
Yeah.
Because she got him confused.
Yeah. And I walked in right after that. Like I heard the 1, 2, 3, and that's when we were finally walking back to the chairs, to the seats. And then what I saw was after that was the Mercer Masada versus the Gun Club, which was great. Seeing our guys in there getting their chance to shine. I mean, Masada is Masada, but like Mercer getting the shot was like one of the highlights of the whole night for me. I mean, there was a big highlight at the end of not the end, but the end of Dynamite was a huge highlight. But like seeing Mercer was huge.
Mercer was crazy.
Yeah.
Like that was mind blowing, and he had a great set. Like he did a lot in that match.
Yeah,
he didn't eat the pin at the end. That was
great.
Man.
That was
that's nice door open. Nice door opener for Mercer there.
Yeah, that was good that they did that for him too. I mean, like Masada, I'm sure had a little say in how that match went, if you know what I mean. So like, be a little behind the scenes. Sorry, I get we're not supposed to talk quite like that, but yeah, it was good. I was very, very like you could realistically you could not have gone any better.
I mean,
personally, because they're not going to go over.
Really can't ask for much more than that. Yeah,
they're not going to go over the Gun Club. I mean, that's just not going to happen on Dark. That's not their job.
Right.
Their
job is to make them look better, and they did.
And it was kind of funny because Masada was so over, and then as soon as the first second of like silence, it was like me, let's go Mercer, and it's like Mercer. I was like, hey, you got one, man. But he had a lot. But I mean, Masada's Masada. But yeah, that was a great start. And then I mean, the show was solid, and of course, I mean, the main highlight was the cage match. If you ask me, I mean, it was a great show from top to bottom. But
it really was. It was really a good show. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and the crowd stayed hot the whole time. The crowd was just so energetic. The crowd was just into the show, period. And I don't know. I feel like compared that one to Austin, it just felt differently. Like the Austin one felt really different.
Well, I see someone that was also at the show that's joined us. Was running a little late, but let's bring in our Poodle Bro because he was there. Antonio, what's up, man? Are you able to
what's
talk
happening, man?
You got your voice back yet?
Yeah, I mean, I can't hit my usual, like high tones, but
okay, well,
I'm getting there.
Yeah, we'll get a break from the rants. That's cool.
Oh, for sure.
So we're just talking about we're going back. We're talking AEW first, which is not our norm, but since it's kind of the thing that we all went to, we're talking about the San Antonio show right now.
Oh yeah.
And, we were saying how hot the crowd was, and I think, I mean, because Tony was kind of saying in the beginning, he's like, they've never been there before, but like after a crowd like that, I mean, I can't doubt them going back. I mean, they should be back soon if you ask me. I mean, San Antonio, Austin, I mean, Texas crowds.
Yeah, and that's you know what?
South, but
that's always a constant, like regards to like the crowds is every time they come to Austin and Houston, San Antonio, Dallas not so much, but outside of those cities, like the crowds are always hot. Yeah. Always hot. Like that's whether it's Melter, whether it's Khan, whether there's anyone. Hell, even Cornette is negative as he says the same thing. Like Texas crowds are just a different type of thing, huh?
Yeah. They did? No, I agree.
Oh, hey, cool.
Yeah, so it was like I said, the highlight was seeing the original guest of In the Pit, become the AEW Women's Champions. So that's kind of cool.
That was crazy. That was so good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was. I don't know. It was I would have bet a lot of money that was going to happen. Like I was like, this is the moment, like it's happening. But still, that's when it's kind of still good. You know what I mean? When you still get the emotion when something that you're pretty sure, and it's on Dynamite, so you're like, well, they got 2 more minutes. So it's about to finish. Like the show's about to finish. So it's kind of like that, but it was still good. So they did. I would say that match was 20 times better than the pay-per-view match that they just had.
For sure.
It was so much, and they actually made it a cage match. Like, because you can have a match in a cage or you can have a cage match. And I think they actually, for them, compared to the other cage matches they've had, they actually used the cage. You don't agree?
Because I think Brad said you like true cage matches.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'm with Uno on this one. That was Uno that mentioned that. Like I agree. I think the thing is like it's kind of like if you remember back in the day, like occasionally there were ladder matches that there was no prize at the top of it. Like like when you take an element of a gimmick and put it in there, but you don't really reinforce the gimmick. It didn't make sense for Rosa to pin Britt Baker. It made sense honestly, Thunder Rosa should have beat the absolute ever-loving shit out of Britt Baker and then crawled out of the cage. Like, that's the end of that feud. Like, you can run your mouth all you want, run around, play your game. But at the end of the day, you couldn't escape what was coming. That's always the point of a cage. It's either to keep out a third party or to settle a feud that cannot stay inside of a ring.
But this was to keep out the third party, clearly, because the reason that Thunder's lost so many times was the interference from Rebel and Hater.
Yeah,
and they worked for that.
Yeah,
and honestly, I'm not arguing you, but I'm not saying it's not as clear not as you're saying.
Yeah, to be perfectly
for it to happen.
To be perfectly
honest,
what
you're saying though, it would have been better. I'm with you.
I disagree because perfectly honest, like there's only so many ways you can do the same tropes of a cage match. Climbing, fall down, climbing, falling down. Oh, he's really teaching. It's been done so many times that I'm perfectly fine with them just straight up. Hey, no one can get in. It's a straight fight, and no one can interfere. I'm just glad they had a chance for interference and they didn't bite. They let it just stay just between both of them, to be perfectly honest. But I honestly I get the point of climbing out, but I completely disagree. That pinning him was perfect.
I'm coming to the middle of both of y'all now because I feel like they could have done more of like chasing, at least try to get out of the ring, like she did it in the very beginning. Britt tried to act like she was going to get out.
Did they have any high spots? I haven't seen the match. Did they have any high top of the cage spots?
Top of the cage, no.
No.
Top rope, yes, but top of the cage, no.
And that's fine. And not everyone needs to do a high spot.
Why use the cage though?
Because the cage is to keep out the people from coming in. And
Edwards can keep out the people from coming in. Like that's what Aubrey Edwards can keep the people from coming in. Like,
okay, well that's a lie.
Referee can.
That's
a lie.
There's also several other. You could have done a lumberjack match. What about a lumberjack?
No. Oh no, I hate lumberjack
matches. They utilize the cage as a weapon.
They
utilize the cage as a weapon a little bit.
Quite a bit. That's what I was getting at. I don't like a cage match that they never touch the cage.
I'm just spoiled, man. I'm spoiled, and it's not my fault. It's Macho Man's fault. It's Mankind's fault. It's everyone that's ever jumped off of it or fallen off a cage's fault. They have spoiled me, and that's what I want to see. I want to see airborne carnage in a cage match.
But you also mentioned Mankind, who was in a totally different thing, was a cell with a roof and a thing where they're not supposed to. And then
I'm talking about the blue cage, buddy. I'm talking about Big Blue.
What, Mankind went off the blue cage?
Well,
you said Mankind, yeah.
I don't mean like thrown off. No, okay. Mankind fought Big Blue.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, UK. I want to say.
I don't recall. So that's
cool. Owen Brett is a good one too. That's just my thing. Like when I see a cage match, like
and I'm that way with ladder matches. Yeah, like, use the ladder. Like the ladder needs to be more than this. Oh, it's at the end. Finally, set it up, and then you get a piece of paper. No,
I think also if it makes sense for the characters and the match, like you don't associate those two things. And honestly, I would rather them focus on what they're strong at than them try to do a spot like that and go just like terribly wrong.
I think it's worth your time to watch it. That's what I'll say. and you might be a little bit impressed, not all the way impressed, but I think you'd be a little more impressed.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, and I know your opinion on that, but I would say it's worth your time to watch it if you have a free 20 minutes.
I would say it's an average. It was an average cage match. Like I mean,
Yeah, no,
it
it's not a
wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. It was.
I want to see it better. I want to see the cage ending. I like it.
Yeah,
that's all.
I'm trying to remember the last time though that a title was won with the cage ending, like you're asking for.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like it's usually a pin or it's in a cell where you can't get out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah,
I'm just saying. So, but actually, that's also a point to why it would have been cool if they actually did, because it's been so long. You know what I mean? Like, it can go.
Wait, was it? Oh no, not a champion. It wasn't a championship match. No, never mind. I was thinking the AEW. No, that wasn't a championship match. The Jericho MJF thing, Pinnacle.
Yeah, there was no belt.
No, it wasn't. There was no belt.
Yeah. I mean, if it was like two high flyers, then we see him do some crazy stuff with the cage. You know, I mean.
Yeah. Like I said, they had the moments they were on the top rope and using the cage as a weapon, and then they fell off.
And they bled.
Now I'm worried about my gripe about Austin. Now I'm super worried about my gripe.
Like a triple stack of chairs off the top rope on the cage. Like, that was a cool spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was something. It's not like I said, if I listed the greatest 20 cage title matches of all time, it wouldn't be in the top 20.
No,
I'm just a huge mark for that.
I would just say it was so much better than their pay-per-view match, because I was very disappointed in their pay-per-view match.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were.
Considering the matches they've had together already, that was their worst. To me, that was their worst match they had had.
Yeah, easily.
The last pay-per-view.
Yeah, I will say I thought it was
very sad.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny how the confetti, like they didn't take into account like the fans, I guess, because like the confetti just like went up and it just fell right on us. Like none of it went inside the ring.
Yeah,
so like it just fell on one side.
It was on one side.
Even my friends were like, "Hey, what was there so much confetti there?" Like I was like, "Oh, yes, you know, they messed up there." But hey, it looked cool for us. Hey,
Freeman Coliseum, come on.
No, but I think it was supposed to be like that because it looked really cool on camera.
Did it?
Yeah, it looked really cool on camera.
Well, it was on the camera side, so.
Okay. Okay.
Got to think in production terms, Angel.
That's my bad. So they were saving on confetti. Okay. No, because I just saw it go up, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna go in the ring. I'm like, oh wait, no, it's not. Oh, okay, it's on me now. Okay. No. Touche.
Because remember, after they couldn't go in the ring because after
they still had an hour more of wrestling.
Oh Lord, yes, right, Rampage.
That's why I can't go in the ring.
That's right.
They had the leaf blowers out there to get the whatever confetti. It would have been too much if they, put it in the ring.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get it. I'm thinking in terms of production.
No, it's good. It's good stuff. I was just dead curious.
I'm wondering how it came out on TV. I don't know. I haven't watched.
Actually, matter of fact, let me get.
I saw some highlights. I saw some highlights. I thought it looked great. I mean, I thought it looked really cool. Just it floating down.
Well, cool. So that's about all I can think of. There was a lot of great matches. We could talk just on that one for, but it was also over a week ago now. So we get to spend a little more time on yesterday's show since it was more current.
Yeah.
And since I wasn't there, I'll let y'all take the lead on that.
I'm just gonna say my gripe right off the bat. I'm just gonna say my gripe off the bat. I like Sammy and Tay. I respect the relationship. I don't care. Let them date, whatever. But if they wanted to turn heels, I feel like they did because the crowd had no pop for Sammy compared to where he was like 6 months ago or a year. Damn it, Nastico's here. I feel like the pop for Sammy has died quite a bit, and I think it's because of their new attitude, which is like stay hating or fuck them all or whatever it is, or be mad. And I was like, that's great, but you're not heels. Why are you hating on the people who are? I don't know, but I feel like after that segment, the show kind of started going down a little bit, especially after such an amazing. Match.
You know what? Well, should we want to talk positives or negatives? Because I can talk negatives like real.
Negatives. Yeah, negatives are fun.
Let's do negatives. Okay. So I'm gonna start with one positive sentence. Those 90 minutes was some of the best 90 minutes I had in my life ever. Just to think about what we saw, and I'll get back to it in a second. Amazing. No,
I agree.
Amazing. And then we had the Red Velvet match. And all that, and that took a little too long. And then that was when you noticed the dip.
Yeah,
that was when it. In my opinion, the show was paced badly. Not badly. It seems like all the highs were all in the first 90 minutes, and then Then it went
Yeah.
down, and then it just kept going and
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
and going. To by the main event, mind you, me and Brad, we're on a very small hill. I don't like Dark Order. I think their gimmick is dumb. I don't get them.
I've
It
actually
just
seen
doesn't
a movement of that's getting a little steam on Twitter.
really.
Like, y'all aren't alone. The hill's not as small as you thought it. Think it is.
Oh, okay.
It's stupid.
And I'm telling you right now.
It's growing.
And then JAS, it's a funny gimmick. I get it, sports entertainment and all that. I don't like. I'm not into it. I don't care. Especially the fake Macho Man dude from 2.0. Look at him. He thinks he's fucking Macho Man. He's literally does the hands and the talking and like. I'm like, bro, like be your own character. Stop trying to be fucking Macho Man.
I
Like,
forget what
I
they
think
changed his name to, but like I don't know if they changed his. I don't know why they changed the names. I get it, but like I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
who's who with their new names. But
Yeah,
I mean, I like 2.0. They can talk. Those guys can cut a promo.
Oh, for
And
sure.
they're doing
Just
it on
don't
purpose.
cosplay.
I just think it would be better if, like, say next week he'll be like talking like the Warrior, and then the next week he'll be
Okay,
talking
you know
like
what?
Hogan. You know,
Okay.
if he's just the one, then it's kind of like the thing. They're sports entertainers. You know what I mean?
That's
But
fair.
if
That you know
it's
what?
just that the whole time, yeah, that would get old real quick.
Well,
Okay.
the thing is that's
And I wish
that's
they
just
wouldn't
the way
pick
he
Macho
talks.
because I
Even on
love.
the Indies, that's the way he cut his promos. And
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Okay.
I never
I was
never
trying to give
watched
him a
him
little hope.
on.
So yeah, no.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I didn't watch him on NXT, so I don't know if that's the way he spoke on NXT. But he's got
I
a
don't
really
know.
thick New York accent.
I mean, but it's not even New York accent because I mean, it's just straight up like you know, like the he's just like come on, like even like the cadence and like his inflections. I'm like, is no one seeing this? Is no one? They give him the eyes, and he's like looking around, like, oh my god, this what's going on here? Anyways, but yeah, dude, that I think that was one possibly, in my opinion, the worst 30 minutes I've seen of AEW show because the energy just wasn't there anymore. And
No.
even like when it came to Rampage, it took a second for it to get back again because one, it took forever to set up Rampage, but like it just never got back. And honestly, a lot of us, I know, because I know one dude had the Puerto Rican flag. We all thought it was going to be like, oh, okay, this is the main event. Clearly, PNP is going to show up and all that.
Right.
Now, I know it was more to establish JAS as the thing, but I don't know if you really wanted to
we
end
saw
it.
the Dark Order 4 times last night. Like, why?
Oh, bro, don't even
Why?
start
One
on
time
that.
they came out back to back. I was like, oh, give me a break.
Yeah.
Dark Order.
So honestly, I think, and for the crowd there, they were over it. So like if you love Dark Order and JAS, by all means, that was your main event. That was wonderful. But when you look at the matches and the stuff that they had, I was not a fan of that, to be honest.
It was just so disappointing. Like you had some really good matches last night. Adam Cole and Jay Lethal, I loved the match. I was so glad I finally got to see Jay Lethal live.
Yes.
And with Adam Cole was a great match. And it was such a back and forth because while everybody around me screaming Adam Cole, I was the one screaming Jay Lethal.
I ran back in just to see Adam Cole's entrance. I was trying to find the smoking area. But I was like, oh crap. I thought the women's match was coming up. But I have
boo. Just kidding.
that TV's
He said it out loud. He said it out loud.
You said that loud, Brad.
No, they have TVs out there. That's the great thing about the Cedar Park Center. Like everywhere you go, they have TVs.
That's true.
So like as long as Dynamite is on, anytime I go outside, I can still see what's happening. It was Rampage, you can't see what's happening.
I admit though that I feel like this whole Velvet and Layla Hirsch feud is played out.
It's boring.
It was long.
It was too long. I love Red Velvet. I love Layla, but this match was not it.
Yeah.
I get it. You're trying to put like Chris Statlander over. That wasn't it. You got to figure out a different way, guys. Like this is like their third time going against each other. First time, okay.
Is it?
Yeah. Third time they put them together. Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet.
So
I mean, they don't even have the chemistry for that.
No, they're awful.
No.
Layla Hirsch is not a great gimmick in general. Like Layla Hirsch is a wrestler. That's my whole thing. Like one thing that I learned last night is like, so I don't really go to a lot of the big production shows like WWE, AEW. Like I don't go to those ever. Literally, the only reason I went last night was because Angel had a ticket. Like I was like, I love Angel. I'll go sit up there and watch wrestling with Angel. But I couldn't help but make a few comparisons, and I got a gripe. I've got a gripe.
Oh, come on.
And I want to get it out.
Go for it.
Shame on all of you that go to AEW and WWE and get known as the Texas wrestling indie fan scene and then don't support indie local talent. Like I had a real big issue with the fact that there were so many people in there. Like like both shows were packed to the brim of talent, and you could visibly see. So this is my thing, and I'm gonna say this, and you AEW fans can come the fuck at me all you want. AEW's fan base is extremely big in this one bad area. Y'all don't have a fucking clue who people were before they got to you, and that's a serious issue. You have
and who's the voice of AEW?
Right,
Jim Ross,
think
the
about
same
it.
person that doesn't
Think
know
about
anybody.
it. Like when Mox
That motherfucker doesn't know nobody,
Bloodsport,
man.
when Mox came to Bloodsport and he came out to his original CZW theme, all of the AEW fans that had come to see him thought that they had a card change. Nobody knew that Mox was still the guy coming out.
Yeah.
People last night didn't understand the Stroke Daddy references we were chanting.
Yeah, sure.
People didn't even know like why we were yelling that Scorpio Sky was the best.
Yeah.
Like people don't get that, and my thing is just like you watch this show, and it was very clear last night. AEW is very confused what to do about a lot of their talent. Like for all of Thunder's good stuff that she did in San Antonio, that segment last night was pitiful.
Yeah,
it was awful
for her. All it does was immediately try to establish Nyla Rose, which not to ruin Rampage for you, but they're really gonna push Nyla Rose. Like that's coming up. That's a thing. Like it was really obvious that their character development in the company is struggling. Like when you even to the point that when
already
you
had her chance.
wrestling in certain areas, you have to slow it down. Like the Ricky and Swerve match could have been an amazing match. For some point we had to include Hobbs, we had to include the hijinks. Next thing you know, it's this watered down version of what could have been.
Yeah,
and that was a big gripe for me. I was like, the main glamour of going to an AEW show versus an indie show is the characters that get built up there, and this is the same like recycled gimmick shit and people lost in weird stuff. Like the Dark Order is old, and I don't care what y'all say, that gimmick is old, it's tired. And I'm going to say something that wrestling fans need to hear. It's okay to let the Dark Order go just because Brody Lee is gone. And I'm not saying that out of disrespect. It is okay to move on from this thing because the Dark Order itself isn't going anywhere. It isn't doing anything. And pretty soon, none of those guys will even have enough wrestling talent to be on AEW. That's my gripe, and I'm not backing out from it. The gimmick is lame. It's like 6 of the same fucking dude. But those guys look exactly the fucking same.
See, but the crazy thing is because I trust me, I'm with you 100%. I thought the Dark Order has been lame for forever, because it just doesn't make sense to me. But they're still over as fuck in live crowds.
No, I don't think. I think
built. It started in AEW. It's been built in AEW. Like it's an inside joke. The Dark Order doesn't exist outside of AEW.
No. I agree with that. But I mean, so
but
see,
Moxley
you know what?
exists outside of AEW. Sammy Guevara exists. Jericho. You know what I mean? Like when you take a gimmick and you take it outside of one company, and it immediately is almost invaluable. Like no one wants to deal with it. Like it's worthless outside of that company. That means you pigeonhole your talent. Orange Cassidy can get over anywhere. Dan has gotten over anywhere. Like the Dark Order is a thing because it's special to AEW, and that's why it's over there. And I appreciate that. But give them something to fucking do. Stop making them be cannon fodder. Stop making them be three bald dudes, a couple guys with hair, and a ton of jokes. Like,
them in the main event. Guys, some of those guys are very talented.
Right,
they are.
Uno's came a long way too. He's gotten in shape since he's debuted, and he's done a lot. He's improved a lot.
I have an issue with the fact that they let Alan Angels take his mask off. They should have never taken his mask off. He looked. Is
that the split? Is that 10?
No.
10 is the big.
We saw 10's face last night.
Well, kind of. No, it's a skinnier white dude that fought Kenny Omega twice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Alan Angels, they should have never let him take his mask off. He looks too much like Stu Grayson sometimes. But
He does. You're right.
There was no point on him losing his
The other
mask.
ball guys,
He should have stayed with his mask on, because if you're gonna stick with this Dark Order gimmick, then those were the guys who were supposed to be falling in line or whatever.
Yeah.
But like honestly, they lost their way of this whole Dark Order thing by making them too like I got them at first. I liked them. It was great, but then they just let them fall apart, and they're like, okay, great. You guys can sustain yourself. We're going to go handle these guys over here, but they couldn't sustain themselves.
Yeah.
The Dark Order is an inside joke to AEW fans.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's an inside joke to AEW fans.
I mean,
and I feel like you could have really done something with that stable, but because they were already over.
Well, they could have made them serious. They could have had something with Inner Circle. They could have had something with Pinnacle.
Think about that. There's the Dark Order. They can have AEW whenever they want. They outnumber any faction double. There's so many of them. They're very good.
They're never serious. That's the issue. They're never serious. Even when they try to be serious,
right?
It doesn't work.
It's been a joke.
It's a joke. It's got Brody Lee's. That's got Brody Lee attached to it, and God rest it. Like I'm with it. Like, and I'm not. This is not me not Brody Lee at all. But it's like it really is. You watch it as someone that's from indie wrestling, and you see that like these are a bunch of dudes that can wrestle that really aren't wrestling. They're holding up this inside joke for fans.
Yeah,
and that was painfully obvious last night as somebody that's never been there. Another thing, and I'm throwing this one out there, and I will die on this hill. If I ever hear another AEW person say something about people doing stuff in front of 40 fans, I will personally fuck your life up. You come to my door and say that shit. Jeff Hardy had the biggest spot of the night that the entire internet's talking about, and it was outside in the lobby in front of maybe 50 people that could actually see it.
Yep.
I just want to put this in perspective. An entire arena of us came to watch Jeff Hardy do his trick on the television, and nobody has said a single negative thing about it. Everybody still thought it was cool. Nobody had a problem with it. So I don't want to hear any more of this bullshit about, oh, he did it for a hot dog and a handshake. Oh, he did it for this. Like, come on, guys. Like, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
Yeah.
Lastly, y'all got to wear some fucking deodorant.
Deodorant.
Holy God. The smell at an actual AEW, like big, like, Indy's bad because we see shows outside in the 100-degree weather in summer.
Yeah, that's when it's good that it's not thousands of people. That's when it's good that it's not a thousand.
Yeah. Like every time you turn your head, you see a new layer of.
There's like a special. There's like a even more. It's crazy because you would think at indie shows you would get more of that nerd type of stereotype in regards to like wrestling fans, but honestly I don't see it as much, especially like in Houston and Austin and like in San Antonio, but you see it at AEW. It's
in Houston. I will I will contest it.
Okay. Thankfully I haven't run into that, right? But I will say that I'm curious to see how AEW is gonna run this storyline with Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose, because a lot of people missed on this whole like going back. Well, really, her got beat up and all that. Is Vicky Guerrero. Her voice is shrill. Oh my God, that is the most shrill voice I've heard in my life. It is. Oh my God, it's still in my brain. It's like a horror movie. It is amazing. It's amazingly bad, but it's good.
But that's what he's doing it for.
Dude,
that
God bless you. Like dead on the money, right?
Yeah, but the AEW is running into a tricky situation here, because if you notice the promo, it was saying that Thunder Rosa wasn't really Texan. She had a green card. Now,
no, what she said was her green card wasn't real. She had a fake green card.
See, let's see how this is played. Let's see how this is played, because historically, other promotions handle that aspect of Latinos horrendously.
Yeah.
Horrendously. So I'm curious to see how AEW will handle this. Because when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, they're going down this route. Now, maybe they'll pull it off, and I'm going to be like, wow, this is the first promotion I've seen in the wrestling history in the United States that has somehow danced around the immigration green card thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And I know a lot of
Slippery
people.
slope.
Not
I know
taking
like
off,
some of the gripes out there were like, oh, she's not really Texan. Well, no, she's not. She's Mexican. She was born in Mexico, guys. Yeah, you're right. She's not Texan.
And she moved from California.
And she moved from California, so she's not Californian either.
Yeah.
But she got her naturalization here in Texas.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So
And does she have cowboy boots?
And she's got cowboy boots.
Okay, so she's Texan. There you
And
go.
she's got a cowboy hat.
She's got a cowboy hat.
Cowboy hat.
And she did. This is my gripe. Thunder, if you're watching Thunder.
That's not how boot stores work, Angel.
I was like,
Listen, I can never be a Texan because one, I'm New York, doing through, but I don't own cowboy boots. I don't own cowboy hats. Even when the army, when they tried to force me to get a cowboy hat, said you're gonna write me up. I'm not buying a fucking. I'm not buying a Stetson.
Driver's license?
Hmm?
Do you have a Texas driver's license?
Yeah, because I live here.
You're a Texan.
No, I live here. No. Matter of fact, every time I go somewhere, they show me license. Listen, I live is the army brought me to Texas, and unfortunately, I can't leave. So because of my kid and all that. But
too close to Austin, and you got sucked in. You got too close to Austin. Now you're
I got hit with Austin sickness. But we talked a whole lot of negative. I want to talk about the positive. Fucking CM Punk.
Before we go there, I just want to say one more thing. She did have a mariachi hat too that I spent many hours picking out. And then, if you guys know what happened to that mariachi hat, may it rest with whichever fan caught it or got hit with it.
Do I have cowboy boots? Is that currently? Wait, actually, I do. Yes.
I saw Josh in shoes. None of y'all can say that.
Oh my god! Yeah.
That's a very small list.
I was shocked.
Well, I guess there was a lot of people that
did. Hey, I'm a Texan. I was born here. I was raised here. I don't own cowboy boots at all.
Yeah.
I don't own cowboy boots.
I don't even own a cowboy hat.
So. I have a cowboy hat. I have a cowboy hat. I actually have two. I actually have two cowboy hats.
You think those are cowboy boots? Ashley says I own a pair of cowboy boots.
See?
I think they're work boots. I don't think they're like actual cowboy. They're flat-toed at the top, man. She don't know. She smokes crack, y'all.
See, the fact that you know the different types of boots and all that. I know Tim's.
Stop. I can't even tell you where I'm from because I feel like you'll just use it to reinforce the argument. I'm from Rodeoville, Tennessee, pretty much. Dude.
I know, yeah.
That's why I know about the cowboy boots. Like I was like, I don't think those are actual rodeo. Like, those would be terrible in Europe. Like you'd never get your foot in there. Don't tell nobody I said that. Y'all edit this part out. Edit this part out later.
Hey, but I'll say
because we do that. We're very high tech. We're very high tech.
Yeah, that happens.
101 episodes. So
I'm showing on my rodeo trophy. I have one. I have a rodeo trophy.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I have
for what? No, now I want to know for what.
I had my own horse at one point in my life, and this was all before I got to Texas when I was 6. I'm telling you, I have lived a wild life, y'all. This is crazy.
That's more shocking than me having a cowboy hat.
This is one of the lamer, not lamer things. This is one of the calmer chapters of my life, and this is a Baracho Crew chapter. It's wild. Wow. It's been a wild ride for Bradley Mansion.
Hey, but I'll say a positive though. CM Punk, fuck yes.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
I like it. I have a positive.
Okay, you go.
CM Punk. Same with CM Punk. I like the intro aspect that they did last night. They went from fireworks straight into Punk. That's a real fucking tone, man. Like I agree. Like Punk was gonna be my positive. I wasn't looking forward to seeing Punk live. Like, CM Punk is not one of my favorites. He's great, but I was really looking forward to Sting. But they led CM Punk, and it was good.
Way
like,
way to do it.
I commend AEW. It was a great show. I mean, just through and through.
Dude, think in 2022 we saw CM Punk, Sting, Bryan Danielson, the Hardy Boys.
William Regal.
What? And William Regal.
Yeah, and William Regal.
That's amazing.
Billy Gunn. No, we didn't get to see Billy Gunn. We only saw the kids.
Yeah, we saw the ass boys.
We got to see him in San Antonio. He was there.
Yeah, the ass boys. Yeah.
By
the way, I totally see the ass boys joining MJF.
So the ass boys, I think, they're working towards a feud with the Varsity Blondes.
Yeah, they're working something because they were out there during the match.
They were, and
have a match. And also, like, weren't they talking about their previous, like, weren't they using Mercer? They were. Someone was saying that they mentioned Mercer during the Varsity Blondes match because Mercer and like Brigham Doe or Masada have fought the previous week, and they had fought the Gun Club. So I thought that they were trying to use that to talk about, bridge the connect the two.
That's what I thought too. That's what I heard, but so I didn't know why they were mentioned.
And then FTR is gonna wrestle the Gun Club next week.
Fuck FTR. Take them.
Yeah. So no, it's supposed to FTR is gonna be babyface. I mean, I didn't get that, but everyone said on TV said FTR is gonna be babyfaces. I didn't see that, but
I like their new logo too. By the way, I don't know if you noticed the jumbotron, where it has like I thought it was really cool. It was like a little throwback, little 70s kind of like living legends. I really like that. I was like, okay, I get it.
Then by the way, MJF has become my favorite heel now. Like I used to say Jay White and all that. I'm gonna say why. So Austin. I don't love y'all. I can't stand most of y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I think Austin is terrible. But
not talk about me, guys.
No. Majority of Austin. I cannot stand Austin. One of the it's a very meme nerdy in joke kind of location, kind of place, right? So for some reason, there's this dude that dresses up as Jesus. Yep. I don't get it. But he's over. People love him. They love Jesus.
That guy's a piece of shit. He used to come in when I worked at Spotlight, wherever it's at on my shirt. Right. He used to come in, and him and the wheelchair guy. But you keep going.
Yeah. No. Okay. So during MJF's promo, for whatever reason, because I thought it was hilarious, let's go ahead and cheer Jesus. I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing, MJF? And then MJF says, well, I'm not gonna repeat it because we're in a holy time for us. But he said one of the most brutal comments I've ever heard, and I was like, bro, you got me. MJF's my favorite heel now because anyone else would be distracted. Everyone else would be like that. No, he took that, flipped it, and it even added more heat to his promo. I was like, touche, because that crowd needed to be told to shut the fuck up, and that was that right there. After that, there was no other stupid chance and all that because MJF had it. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. I looked at even Brian was like talking to I think Thunder on the phone. I was like, what?
What did he say? What did he just say? I missed it. What did he say?
Yeah, y'all gotta say.
You gotta go back and watch.
Yeah, it's something him on the cross and something like that. It was. I was like, whoa.
I know.
Somebody watching, remember, type it in the comments. Type it.
If you're watching, type in what he said in the comments.
Yeah, but I'll say this. He to me that's instantly.
Well, I mean,
best heel right
we
there.
did the Hills Mount Rushmore. He made mine.
Yeah,
already.
no, and you know what, and you know what, and I wouldn't even argue back then, and even after that, I'm like, no, the dude on the mic, there's no one better than him, and that's what made me think though too. It's like, okay, so right now MJF has a whole lot of like he's doing a lot, dealing with a lot of more the old like CM Punk and all that. Like, I don't think there is a MJF equivalent on the mic as a babyface. Like CM Punk has this stuff, but no one that has that same wit, that same type. And then it hit me, dude. Just wait till I think Ricky Starks. If you once he goes babyface, those promos between if you have, I can just imagine it in my mind. MJF and Ricky Starks going back and forth. I think that would be crazy.
Yeah, I think he's the only one who could touch him. He's the only one who can touch him right now.
Yeah, there's like there's no one like even CM Punk like he will go, but it wasn't like CM Punk would have his off days and all that. MJF never has an off day. Never has an off day on the mic.
Well, CM Punk's been doing it for 20-something years.
No, exactly. No, that's my point. I'm like,
you're gonna run out of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he took 7 years off though, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ricky's better than CM Punk because I think there's always the little like drawn back like CM Punk gets a lot of credit for the pipe bomb that wasn't a pipe bomb. You know what I mean? CM Punk gets a lot of credit for promos that were cut. That if they were not pipe bombs, like if we came out and like said, they were not pipe bombs. Like they're
the pipe bomb one to me was not even top 10 promo.
The Hands of God for me is his better promo.
Yeah.
Oh, so someone put the comment.
The one with the Rock is I'm gonna kick your ass, and no matter where you show up, I'm gonna kick your ass. That promo I think was one of my favorite ones. Or when he did with the Rock. Like I could say 10, 15 other promos that were better than the pipe bomb.
For sure.
Oh, I'm super biased because he's like one of my favorite wrestlers, so y'all know that. I own it. I own it. Yep. He comes out to my favorite song that's not played by Metallica like ever. So like it's just like he does no wrong to me. Sorry.
Yeah. Also,
Even though he's from Chicago. I mean, other than that.
fuck Chicago. You know,
Exactly.
and shout out to you know, I would say Izzy James. Izzy James did his damn thing yesterday. Like he got beat up as one of the guards, and then
so did Chandler Hopkins and JP Harlow were out there too.
Okay, so is it Chandler Hopkins? Because someone said
he ran out.
So what's Chandler Hopkins?
The extras came out. Yeah.
Dang!
His hair is longer.
I said it too. I was like, "Is that Chandler Hopkins?" And someone was like, "I was like, no, dude. The dude's like he has a distinct look." You know, I'm like,
his hair's grown out though. He has longer hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say, and for
he hasn't asked me back.
He's one of the first. He was one of the first ones that like ran out.
Yeah.
The second row. The second thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him. I mean, I was looking for him, so that's different.
Yeah, and I'd say,
for Stone Island. What's his name? Edge or what's his? He was there too. He's a Texas talent.
I don't know.
Think of his name.
Orion was there.
Yeah, he got beat up. I saw him.
Oh no! Hey,
ran.
God, you don't have anything better you could say? Oh, he got beat up. Like,
damn. Come on, he could have not been on it at all.
That's what we tell everybody. That's what I saw Thunder last night. She got beat up. That's what we
No. There's a difference. Like that. Brad, even you have to admit. Even Brad has to admit.
Who got beat up? Who did you say?
I was mad. I wanted him to get a match. I really did.
I did too. No, I'm hoping. I'm always hoping for those guys.
No local talent as we have anymore because there's no wrestling scene here really. Why? You know, like I thought for sure Maddie was at the building.
Yeah.
I won't spoil anything for y'all, but
I was very disappointed that Maddie was not used in San Antonio.
I know, and she was there.
Not me.
I saw
not
her.
me. I got this. Hey,
I was disappointed.
I got to see her in San Antonio, but she didn't.
Here's the thing, and this is a little bit of behind the scenes. Maybe I'm giving too much. I don't know. I'll probably get in trouble. I don't care.
Fuck it, shoot. Let's go.
So Sky Blue got this big pop in Chicago. Right after that, Tony Khan's like, "Oh, hey, you got this giant pop in Chicago." Well, she's from Chicago.
Yeah, duh.
People are big wrestling fans in Chicago. They actually.
They know her.
The AEW fans go to Indies. They come back to AEW. They see her. They pop
in Chicago.
For her.
Yeah, Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, I would have liked to have hoped that if Maddie had come out in San Antonio, that people would have popped for her.
Where she lives
we
and
popped
from.
For her in Austin, though. I don't think that there's any hope to that. If Maddie had come out in San Antonio, it would have been nuts because she came out in Austin, and not only that. She came out in Cedar Park, like just so everyone's clear. Like, and I know I say this as a joke, it's fun, but legitimately, the Cedar Park Center is where they hold these events, and it's almost not even in Cedar Park anymore, y'all. That's how outside of Austin it is.
Right.
The bitch of a drive.
When you're at the Cedar Park Center, if your hometown is San Antonio, you are 100 miles away from home. That's a long way for an indie fan to travel. Not everybody's like us that'll get in the car and make those treks. Yeah. So for Maddie to have come out last night in Austin and I'm not even talking about me. Like I was an obnoxious asshole. Like you'll hear me on Dark for sure. But like us as fans chanted for Maddie and a lot of people on the floor chanted.
Yeah, we were there chanting for her.
Like that was amazing. So to your point, I don't think there would have been a shadow of a doubt. Maddie would have gotten a huge pop in San Antonio.
And I feel like it was just if she had gotten her moment in San Antonio, she would have gotten that, oh, good job, Maddie, from Tony Khan, just the way Sky Blue did in Chicago. Yeah. Because right after that moment in Chicago, Sky got a contract.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sky is contracted to AEW. So you know, you got
local talent needs a local entrance. That's my other gripe for that. Like, I get you don't want them to be on TV. You know, like Maddie, Mercer.
You can still give them something.
They're not going to be on TV if you put them on Dark or if you put them on Rampage.
Give them the entrance
in the ring. Give them a local entrance. Like, it's kind of bullshit to book local talent that people like to that level, and we got to watch them sneak out down, and then they got to sneak out back. I'm not asking you to roll out the red carpet, but can we at least pretend like this person that everyone here cares and loves to death? You know, like this, that, like, no, like not to like do the comparison thing, but like to me, it feels like Maddie being in an AEW ring kind of looks like Ricky Starks being in an AEW ring. Like that looks like 2 years from now, Maddie could be on a Ricky Starks level. Like Maddie has that talent. Maddie has that caliber about her. 100%. why sneak someone like Maddie in and out? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think the audience is there for 5 fucking hours. Give us a couple of things it's just anything that's gonna jazz us up. Like, I know you want to build up the person that's coming down, but what about the fans that are sitting there forever? The people near me stink. The girl next to me was not giving me much room. Just let me hear Maddie.
She was not happy when you sat down, by the way. Let's point it out.
No, man, that girl.
And honestly, like when I went to the show, all I was looking for was who was going to be there from local. Like, I actually care more about that
in Austin. Almost no one.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have it much in San Antonio either.
Yeah. Let me just say this: I was in a section. Hey Ryan, yay! I was in a section, guys. I'm 5'1", maybe and a half, not sure. And I was in a sea of Josh's and Brad's, all in front of me.
Sorry.
So I
feel so bad for people.
I had to step to the side. I had to step to the side and be like, "Oh, look, I can see it." Or I had to turn around and look at the monitors. I was like, "This is the worst."
Were you on the floor? The floor?
Yeah.
I never want to sit on the floor at AEW again. Unless I can be right by the rail or front row, I never want to sit on the floor again.
Unless you're me.
Because
I have no issues.
For you. I'm taller than you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm taller than you, I think.
Wait, how did you have issues? I had no issues at all.
The guy in front of you was short. You remember? Okay, in front of me was the guy with the jacket who smelled like weed.
Oh no, hold on. No, because that was the dick that kept standing on the chair.
He had long hair. And and like I was watching through two people's heads. At one point, these guys stood up on a chair, and Angel and I just started like loudly roasting them.
Oh no!
Yes.
There was a guy in front of me with a sign at San Antonio. The Buddhist.
I fucking hate people with signs. Y'all the fucking worst.
That's the old man in me, but I'm always like, put your sign down, shut it.
Yeah, shit, man.
But then I'm like, well, this is how everybody behind me feels every time I stand up. So I'm kind of like,
I try to sit down a lot. I try to be really respectful.
I do too. I sat down a lot in San Antonio.
I feel like a lot of people were sitting in San Antonio just to, like, and then everybody stand up at the right moment. But man, for like, I think the what was it, the tag match with the Hardys and Sting and Darby, like everybody kind of stood up, and when everybody stood up, I was like, I can't see jack, much less what's happening outside the ring. So I was like, all right, to the monitor it is.
Yeah. I think that thing that sucks, and I like that you wouldn't really expect to hear this argument from me, but like, it's the kids in the audience. Like, there was a little kid in front of me and Angel, and the poor little guy, like this, he could almost never see. He ended up getting super lucky. Like, this is one thing I want to shout out, because last night Jeff Hardy tossed one of his sleeves toward us, and somebody caught it, the guy right in front of Angel. We were kind of like, dang, it was almost us. The kid that caught it was like 14, 15, 16 years old. He gave it to like the 8-year-old kid that was sitting in front of us having trouble seeing. I was like, damn, dude, it's nice to know that there's somebody out here. Like that little kid worked his ass off to see all night. And if nothing else, at least went home with a huge prize. Like that, that made my heart so happy. If you're out there, a wrestling fan, if you remember this story and you sat next to our two faces, you call me and I will buy you tickets to an indie show and you come hang out with us. If any of y'all see that.
The opposite thing happened at San Antonio when Jeff threw his stuff out. It actually, I turned to talk to Charlie, and whatever, it was his shirt or sleeve or whatever, actually like landed on my back.
That's right, yeah.
And then somebody the guy behind me like yanked it away, and I was just like, shit, and I'm with my 10-year-old here that loves Jeff Hardy, and this fucking 50-year-old dude. Like, look at the shirt I got, like I would have given it to a kid, you know what I mean? Promotion
or sports promotion, just so I can watch my cameras for people like that and go, that guy, go get that guy and get him the fuck out.
Yeah. I don't, trust me, words were said. Y'all know that I don't speak very softly.
You ever seen baseball fans? Every once in a while, like a baseball bat will get in the stands, and fans will fucking go nuts over it.
Yeah, bro. It's not working. Baseballs and bats.
No, fuck that, dude. There was one time when I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh, I wanted to catch a grounder to third base," and I'm ready to catch it. That should look like a laser. That should look like a fucking missile. I was like, nope. And ever since then, I never tried to catch a ball. I would go out of the way.
For a reason. Yep.
Fuck that bullshit. Yeah. But overall, though, I would say it was
AEW can we segue real quick to GCW before we go?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Actually, this is like the longest AEW segment.
I
in the
know.
history.
Actually, it had some positive by evil too.
I have cheese made for y'all. I've got Kiki straight out of the Kaye. Okay, I've got the chat in the streets. There's big shit going on between GCW and Triple Six. There's
Oh,
a very
hold on. I didn't see that. We got people in the back. I don't have my phone, so they didn't say. But let's welcome the other two members of the pit real quick.
There we go.
Shit. Oh, hey, what's up, Juan? You haven't said anything.
Well, I didn't.
No,
They can't.
you're
I had them
one,
in the back.
I'm two.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair.
And we also got
7.
Hey,
7 of us now.
Hey,
cool.
I'm
All
so
right.
turning
glad.
one this-
I'm
she's
so
turning
glad
one this
JP
Saturday,
Wong's
so-
here.
it's a
I
happy,
Yeah.
didn't have this
happy birthday for
conversation.
her. She's turning 1 this Saturday.
ah,
Nice.
I'm literally segueing into the Circle 6 versus GCW conflict as we speak. You two have
Yes.
chosen the perfect time for it. So the big story on the street is Circle 6 ran their show a couple weeks ago. It was the same night. It was actually a couple days ago. It was the same night of Josh's wedding. It was on Twitch.
Everybody was trying to book up against me.
It was a disaster. Oh, that's what it was. Atticus is like, ruined this shit.
They do
It
it
was
PBW
a
every time.
disaster streaming wise. Commentary was in and out. Sound was in and out. At one point, the internet went down. And as if things weren't worse enough, toward the end, Twitch was like, fuck it. Is that blood y'all got on there? Get out of Twitch together. And so they got booted off Twitch and had to
Oh damn!
run the live.
Yeah. it was
Had
rough.
to run the main event live on Facebook, which is okay. Like, they don't lose any money that way. They were streaming on Twitch for free. They've lost the Twitch avenue now, but
Yeah.
you weren't gonna get to keep that long anyway. But the bigger thing that's broke this week is supposedly Brett Lauderdale has told talent that if they work at Circle 6, they are not allowed to work at GCW anymore. And while no one has fully confirmed it, many people are going, I haven't heard anything about that. I have not heard any rumors that people are not allowed to work both places. And as a matter of fact, we even got a name drop this week other than Atticus, and it was a big one. Rumor on the streets is that there will be no more slack in GCW.
Oh wow!
How do we feel about this, everyone? How do we feel about this ongoing conflict that we're seeing unfold?
Man,
Well,
I feel like
it-
GCW is just killing the game for everybody. Like GCW carry us through the pandemic, and now it just seems like they just want to kill everything that they work so hard for.
Yeah.
And not
I know.
only that,
So sad.
GCW fan base, it's it's fucking crazy that I have to compare it this way, but it's almost like the fan base of WWE.
It's bad.
Yep.
Like they think
Wow.
just what GCW is
That's
doing is right.
in wrestling talk. That's the extreme right there.
Yes.
And
Let's
GCW
go this way. Brett said
Go ahead.
to everyone,
Go ahead.
I'm
I'm sorry to cut you off.
going to respond to the Circle 6 rumors, but I'm going to do it on my Patreon. So if you want to know the real scoop from me,
You gotta
get on my
fuck that guy.
Patreon. And just so everyone's clear, you don't get Patreon podcast access with the first Patreon level. No, you got to bump yourself up to one of the top levels to get that access. So
Which is kind of BS. If you're gonna, and then I think if I heard correctly, he kind of circled around some questions. Like he
Yep.
never.
still
He
being
didn't
take
right.
the
straight answer,
Exactly.
yep.
After he tried to entice everyone to come in there and pay Patreon prices to listen to his bullshit podcast, when they went to ask him about it, he basically didn't answer the question and moved on, which is
Yep.
typical. In the past, Brett has done that. Like, he'd be like, oh, yeah, we'll address it. And they're like, oh, well, these things happen and there's behind the scenes. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Like, what's going on here? Like, I didn't feel there was legitimacy to this until he said, I'm going to address it on my Patreon. I'm like, okay, now I have a problem with you because now I feel like you're building an army in a very particular area and in your most loyal fan base. Shouldn't it be that if this is your side of the story, whether it's prepays, podcast, or the newspaper, you want to get your side out?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, where are you going to get the side out more?
Yeah.
On the one that costs a lot of money or the one that's free?
Right.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
full of. I mean,
Yeah.
and I've been not liking that dude since I've heard anything about him, even back at the freaking show we went to in Houston. Like, and I
Yeah.
started saying stuff, and I remember some of y'all were like, "Man, that would break my heart if you're right." And here we are, fast forward how many months later, and it's like
It's true.
Sorry,
And
guys.
we've seen this song and dance.
I was right.
We have it on good authority, and I'm not going to put everybody's business out there because I don't like telling people's stories. But we have it on good authority that GCW screwed a few of the Texas companies in the Texas Forever show, or not in the collective that was shut down right at the beginning of the pandemic. There are several companies that were left with bad taste in their mouth, money they were not paid back they were supposed to. Like, this is an ongoing issue with Brett. Like, this is an ongoing issue with GCW. There's dedication to this fan base, and I've seen it happen to me, and I don't want to make it personal or anything, but I've seen him treat other people better than those of us that don't spend that money with him. And I just think that there has to be this point where, like you said, we're watching a product, we're watching wrestling, but at the same time, that backstage bleeds out, and we're really starting to see a lot of this shit unfold. And there's starting to be a lot of smoke here. It started off as just an accusation here, an accusation there, but you know,
and there's more, and there's bigger names that have recently showed up at GCW that aren't showing up anymore, and we don't have to drop those names. They said it's behind the scene things and whatever, but
Ricky Shane, that's a good point, Josh. Ricky Shane Page, a lot of people don't understand that the reason Ricky Shane Page is not in GCW is for personal reasons with him and Brett. It is a known fact that he has disagreed with the way that Brett has booked his originals versus the way that he books people that comes in for one and dones. The way that he books legends and shit. And that's why RSP's not there. Like, and you can really get that vibe. Juan will tell you, we've traveled to see RSP in a lot of different places, and I can tell you see a different RSP when he's in GCW than when you've seen him in other places. Toward the end of there, it really did feel like RSP and GCW was just business. And then you'd run into him at King of the Death Match, and it seemed like he had more of a personality, more of a freedom, heavy metal, all that good shit.
Yeah.
It's craziness, man. Like, Brett's getting his rocker going a little bit too fast, you know?
Okay, so because I've been feeling like this for a little bit. So I'm part of various deathmatch groups because of you guys, you know. So I interact with a lot of people that I normally wouldn't associate myself with because you know, and
they scare
one
you.
thing came very apparent to me, and I think GCW hardcore fans are too in the weeds to realize. So one of the reasons why GCW is really popular and all that is because it is a counter to what WWE is, right? WWE is a sports entertainment; it's its own entity, and the fans think that's the only thing that's there. It's WWE,
It has
and
the
nothing,
homegrown element, like AEW.
and
These
nothing
fans
matters.
planted that seed, and they've grown it. That's a good point.
So with GCW, it is the alternative. It is not a us against other indie promotions. It should be us against the big corporation. But what's happened is, and they don't even realize this, and I brought this up in one group, and they started talking. I'm like, man, go fuck you. Dude, I don't know what the fuck you are. GCW has become WWE. It straight up is fan base, the way the way they're running their business, the way how they got there, and now they're just cutting everyone off. Like, while everyone is working together and outside of that, GCW is like, nope, we're just gonna be by ourselves. And the GCW hardcore fans, if you try to bring up ICW, try to bring up Circle 6 and all that, they just be like, it doesn't matter. That's not fucking real. Fuck that. You know, Alex Colon's the best. Don't get me wrong. I love Alex Colon because I'm Puerto Rican. I love Puerto Rican. But you cannot tell me he's like, these fans they're just as delusional as WWE fans, and it's literally the WWE. It's like WWE light, but in the
very light
indie deathmatch scene, which is so weird because they don't realize that's what they become.
Where does the elitist fan really come in? You know what I mean? Like, this is what we were talking about with Jesus. It's what we're talking about with GCW fans. It's when the fan base becomes an over entity that has a level of control that manipulates the situation.
That's when it's not going to work.
And that's the thing with GCW. They cater to that core fan base they have. Be Twitter, be live events. It's like if that little circle of people controls what's going on in GCW, and you can say nothing on Twitter about GCW, nothing bad, because you will have people jumping at you and trying to cancel you. And those type of fans, those people that I've seen time after time, they dig through shit. Like they'll go back 10 years to try to find something that you have done wrong.
Petty.
So yeah, so that you can get in trouble, you can
Sounds
get
petty.
canceled, whatever. And it's bullshit. Like we are all our fans. We can, air
See,
our opinions and whatever. Why in the fuck are you gonna go out of your way to dig for something, look for something when you know that nobody's perfect?
and that's
Yeah.
the thing with fans, like, and I think that's when it becomes more problematic is when a fan is just loyal to a brand. Like
Yeah.
I'm okay when fans are loyal to a genre,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean, but love the
Like
genre
indie
of wrestling.
or punk
Yes.
or
Yeah,
rap,
or you
hip
like
hop,
sports
country.
entertainment or whatever. You like certain things. Like
Yeah.
I love music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like if they're a good musician, I'm gonna like their music. If it's George Strait, Metallica, Journey, like Darius Rucker, like those are some of my top favorite. They're all different genres, but it's because they're it's the thing because I love music. That's the same way I'm with wrestling. Like I'll watch some, even like I'm starting to watch deathmatch now. Like I don't ever rule out anything. Like I watch
Yeah.
everything and I don't hate on any of it. You
Yeah.
know,
I
some of it
actually don't
I'm
want
like,
that.
I might do this for some of the spots. Like
Yeah.
but it's not,
Yeah.
but when fans are only it's GCW and nothing else exists, that's when there's a problem. When it's
Yeah.
WWE and nothing else exists, that's a problem. When it's
Yeah.
AEW and nothing else exists, which
Yes.
is like that too, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I mean, this is way down lower on the scale, but like PPW, like, I want them. Let's at PPW. Okay, next week then we're going to GCWA, and then next week we're going to go to TAW. Then we're going to go to Mission Pro, and then we're going to go to Texoma. And then we're going to go to whatever New
Yes.
Texas heavy metal. Like, why not? Like, why can't we
Exactly.
just all fucking wrestling? You know?
Enjoy the wrestling that's out there right now.
When
Is
you
so
get
great.
divided-
Enjoy it.
Yeah, when you divide like that, it's nothing. Nothing
Yeah.
but conflict can come from that.
Yeah.
Put that comment on the screen, the last
one?
comment
By
from
Ryan.
Ryan. That is so true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's like what Brad said. Whenever the
Yeah.
fans are getting over, that's a problem. Like you should
Like
fans
what?
shouldn't go to get over.
As a fan, you should not be going to a show to get yourself over. That is not the point of going to a show. The point of the
Jesus.
show is to support the people in the ring. You don't
So-
go to the theater and say and try to make yourself the star.
One
No,
of the
you
biggest-
shut up and you watch the show.
One of the biggest indie pops I ever got was at a BOW show with Moonshine, and I won't say his name, but all of us kind of know who I'm talking about. That used to go to shows all dressed in a suit, and he would like say something there in San Antonio, and
Yeah.
and Moonshine was just like, "Why don't you just go try to get over at another show instead of here?" It's like he just like totally called him out of trying to get over, and it was just like he silenced and went and like he was never the same after that. And I was like, "Yes."
Oh, I think I was there for that one.
Especially when Moonshine- huh?
There's
I think
this
it was-
guy on the East Coast that dresses as a hot dog. I believe he goes to GCW
I've seen
shows
Yes.
and he goes to
Like the
H2O.
sign guy, WWE, the sign guy was.
And
You
That
got
guy's
over.
nice though. That guy's
Yeah,
nice.
but he was
the,
super
the,
cool.
the sign guy,
Yeah.
the sign guy is cool. He's not trying
Yeah.
to put himself over. Like he
Yeah.
actually cheers for the talent and shit. Well,
Exactly.
this-
His gimmick was getting talent over with signs.
Yeah, yeah.
Bingo.
This
Yeah,
guy, this
But he was
hot
over
dog
it.
guy in specifically,
Yeah, yeah.
this motherfucker, it went out of his way. Now he's selling merch. He was offering T-shirts and he was offering
sign guy
like,
never did that.
keychains and 8x10s. Like, who the fuck are you to be selling merch? You're just a fucking fan.
What?
Do what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do.
Seriously.
Enjoy the show and go home. That's it. Why
Yeah.
the fuck are you gonna be selling merch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Like I get
Who are
it.
you?
So here's the thing. Like it's really interesting because we've talked about this as the Baracho crew because like the Baracho crew has recently been asking by promotions to get work, like come in, do work, different stuff, and like we've
With
talked
more
about
coming,
like
I guess. With more
wanting
coming.
to make sure that like there's still this line of like you're asking us to come and bring our shit and this is what we do and this is whatever, but like when that part is over for us, we just go out, sit, drink beer, and root for everybody else.
Yeah, y'all aren't getting over.
No,
Like,
not at
trying to get
all.
over.
Like the only thing that we want to get over is like our weapons. Like this is our
Yeah.
shit. Like we want to make our shit. We want to put it in there. We want to watch blood. Like 90%.
For who? But for who to get over?
Right, 90%.
Who uses that to get
what
over?
we
The
do.
talent gets over with
Yep.
using y'all's weapons.
Exactly. That's our thing. Like
Yeah,
like
Mercer
we
having
don't
the bat
see
that y'all
guys,
made, like things like
no
that.
offense. Like when we have insane, when Insane's in any match, like that's our boy, and
That's
like
different. Yeah, that's
we
totally
take care
different.
of him, and
Yeah.
we're out there, and we've proven time and time again that like he's safe anywhere near us. Like you always got to have a crew everywhere you go. That's a death match has a crew that keeps people safe.
Right.
But when it's outside of that, like we go to a ton of shows and people be like, "Oh, that's the Baracho crew." Like, yeah, we're like the Baracho crew is a Baracho crew is a Baracho crew. Whether it's wrestling, tennis, outside the mall, we don't care.
At the
Like,
wedding.
I think it's totally okay if your squad are you and your squad. Like one thing I'll even say, and Juan May is not gonna like this. When we were in Chicago, we sat next to these 3 old white guys, and we made fun of them the whole show. But these white guys, legitimately, they called themselves the Front Row Crew. They had T-shirts. They put their last names on their T-shirt. But literally, their whole reasoning for that, like by the end of the show, after I watch it all, is that's just what they do. Like they've got a shirt because every show they go to, they get the front row seats, and they're there. All the wrestlers knew them. Every single wrestler stopped and took pictures with them. Any wrestler that was there, they could get their attention. And I thought to myself, I think this is a really appropriate way of getting yourself over as a fan. Yeah. You've dedicated to yourself. This is your thing. That's where I think Sign Guy fits in.
I mean, I go to every show with the jersey that has my name on it.
Right. Like if
you, I started, I'm just saying.
Exactly. Yeah. When your gimmick is being a hardcore fan, I don't think that's an issue with that. I think that's totally cool. I think when your gimmick becomes trying to be a gimmick, like when fans selling shirts with their things on it, like the hot dog guy or other things, it's like, it really is strange because you got to also ask yourself, like, you're a fan selling a T-shirt. What if somebody pulls $20 out of their pocket and buys your shirt instead of something from
the talent
who's there trying to work, trying to make money, trying to make a living? Yeah. Like, there has to be a point where we as fans are not interfering with the process that's taking place.
Exactly.
That's where I feel like you draw the line. I think as long as you can stay on the side of the line and be like, yeah, I'm cool. I do this. I'll help you if you want. You need help setting up a ring. I got you. You want me to sit down and shut the fuck up? I got you. But this standing up, yelling, screaming to the point where you're the one over, you're the one people are trying to watch, like it's got to have its limits.
Yeah.
You agree that GCW's fan base is growing really high with a number of those types of people. I've had multiple people as fans try to sell me their fan merchandise.
Wow.
It's strange to me.
I've never seen that. That's crazy.
It's so crazy. Even our Mission Pro photographer, she went to the Hammerstein Ballroom show. She went to the GCW Hammerstein Ballroom show. And she was just like, man, she was, I'd seen it on TV. I wanted to finally go to a show. I thought this was the show to go to. And even she was kind of like, man, this is kind of like it's not a comfortable environment if you're not like loud and kind of obnoxious.
It's very true.
She was kind of like, she felt like she goes, no, I felt very out of place. She was like, definitely. She goes, maybe I was one out of a handful of women in the crowd. So it was mostly men. And then she goes, then the things that they were yelling, the things they were saying, they're like, yeah, this is very not okay. Environment. I feel she felt very uncomfortable. And you should not feel uncomfortable at a wrestling show.
Right. You shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable anywhere you go in public.
Yes. And she was just like,
it's not just a wrestling show for women.
No, especially. Exactly. But the fact that at wrestling shows we're so close together that we can smell each other, wear deodorant.
Way too much. Yeah.
Yeah, way too much.
Don't use Axe.
Don't use Axe.
That doesn't work.
You're on mute. You're on mute, numero uno.
We can't hear you, bro. You muted yourself.
Yeah.
Please, for the upcoming festivities next week,
wash
your ass. Use deodorant. Use perfume. Use cologne. Please.
Why did Numero Dos take offense to that?
I'm mad at you. Like it's ridiculous what some of you guys smell like. It's insane. Like there's no fucking way you can't smell yourself. Like every single time. Like anytime I stretch, I'm like, I guess I need to put on deodorant. Like, come on, man. Like the slightest bit of me smelling like a man, and I know it. Some of y'all walking in there like a motherfucking onion farm that's been 3 days past its prime. And it's like, what in the absolute fuck? And I'm going to tell you this shit. I can smell y'all over the weed in your pocket. I can smell y'all over the $13 cheap Bud Light you bought. I can smell you over your hot pretzels. I smell you more than anything because body odor smells different. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he said.
There's no argument. There's nothing to counter that with.
Hey,
I got nothing.
Yeah, dude. And if you guys do know that maybe you might have an odor to you. I'm gonna bypass on the hug. I love y'all, and I'm glad y'all want to give me a hug, but
Fist pound.
don't.
We can do away with hugging at wrestling shows for strangers at all. Like, honestly, I put my hugging level at whether you want a hug from me in general. If you ever notice from me, if you do not ask me for a hug, I will not give you one. Because I'm just like, I can avoid this. I can understand. You probably think I'm stinky. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I'm a diamond in the rough. I know where the shower in my house is. I get it. But like some of y'all be charging in there, be like, "Oh, Brad," and like wrap me up, and I'm like, "Whoa, it's awful, man." Also, if you ever see me in public and I don't recognize you, I'm so sorry. Please don't get offended by that. Like this guy last night was telling us, he's like, "We know you from ACW," and I just stared at him.
Yeah.
I think he got mad at me because he never turned around and talked to us ever again.
Yeah, he has arms crossed. Good job.
That's happened a few times to me too, and I'm just like,
he was like, "We know you." I was like, "Oh yeah." Maybe I told Angel I didn't know who he was too loud or something, but
I was like, no idea who you are. Sorry. That's what's saying in my head. Like, I got nothing right now for you.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm so
really sorry.
I've been feeling
I
bad
appreciate
about
all
that
the support.
all
Keep buying
day.
tickets to the show and keep watching this one.
I felt guilty about that at 4 a.m. I woke up to pee and I was like, "Oh my god, I probably hurt that dude's feelings."
Don't feel guilty. I was in San Antonio and I was walking by and somebody goes, "Mel," and I was like, "Sup?" Like, don't just say Mel, sup. Like,
no. See,
like,
I'm lucky.
Yourself. I don't know who you are. I'm like, hey.
Everybody knows me as Dose. So if someone says Brad, I'm like, how do you know me from work? Or how do you know me from my family?
But to be fair, Bradley, he has the worst luck when it comes to meeting people.
Yeah, you do.
He makes conversations with the randomest people anywhere he goes, and they always go to Brad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thankful for that because I don't know.
That's how Emily feels everywhere we go. Emily,
I do the same though.
Emily tells this story at the cruise. We were in line with getting food at the buffet, and we were with Jungle Boy and Marco's stunt, and she just like nicely just asked him like, "Hey, do you have fun snorkeling?" And he just turned around and like just started talking to her like for minutes, and she's like so uncomfortable. She started just like, "Oh yeah," like getting behind me, like so I could intercept because she was like so uncomfortable. Then of course I just picked it up and talked, and then we picked on Marco's stuff for not eating vegetables. But like it's just, sometimes she's a lot happier when I'm around, so she doesn't have to go through those awkward situations because I can talk to anybody. And y'all been with me in places, y'all know that I talk to everybody. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't like. Juan said it best, man. Like, I have social anxiety about meeting people I don't know, and if people always think it's ridiculous, like, "Oh, you're just being weird," until like you see the moment where like I'm cornered outside of Piggly Wiggly, and I'm on like hour 4 of a story of how conveyor belts work. It's like,
this is a real story.
This is not an exaggeration. And like my friends just kept walking past me because that's just the rule. Like you can't get sucked into it. So I wasn't mad, but at the same time, I was like, "Fuck y'all." If y'all ever want to know about conveyor belts, let me know. I'll tell you all about it.
And then, of course, not to change the subject again, but if you guys are talking about festivities next week, don't forget to buy tickets to all your local shows that are going to be up in Dallas, guys. Yes. GCWA is going to be there. Inspire Pro After Dark. Mission Pro is going to be up there. Hybrid School of Wrestling is going to be up there. I mean, there's so many shows. Like River City Wrestling is up there. Jeez Louise. There's so many.
VIP, Martinez.
There's so many. Go support your local wrestling that's trying to, get their talent over there. So go buy tickets.
DM Brad.
DM Brad, yeah. He'll let you know.
No, we're not going to do that here.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. I'll put y'all all in.
DM Brad.
Yep.
I don't think you want to know how they work. Cut and dry. It's pretty cut and dry process.
But go buy tickets. Go buy tickets for all the shows happening during the weekend. There you go. Support indie wrestling.
We beat this like a dead horse on this show so much.
I saw y'all last night.
And we're not going to stop.
I saw y'all last night. Y'all love AEW. Tony Khan and AEW. Everyone has said it's one of the best crowds. Everyone that comes from Texas loves it. Like, I just gotta tell y'all, like, this same thing is happening down the street from you. This same thing is happening
somewhere nearby.
It's cheaper. Let me tell y'all. Y'all think y'all like those $13 Bud Lights? Wait till you go to a wrestling show and somebody's got $2 Dos Equis or something in a cooler. That's not an exaggeration. Or they say BYOB, and you can do that. Like, guys, go support your local talent. Go support your local indie promotion. And I'm telling y'all, everyone that's been in Austin, we've got great scenes in San Antonio. It's not that far. We had Simply Lost, Heavy Metal, Mission Pro.
Simply Lost.
Like, everybody, like, honest to God, support local wrestling. Like, it's never been this big. And if we don't support it, it won't stay this big.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we need to keep it going. Like I said, I mean, we got to support indie wrestling, buy tickets, especially this weekend. And then
get them.
You know, next month, PPW.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Simply Lost is working on a big
one.
Speaking of beer, you know, Mission Pro is talking about having a meet and greet on Friday before the show.
It's not official yet.
Oh, it's not?
The Simply Lost one. Sorry.
Yeah. Don't. I was trying to like cover that, Josh. I was trying to cover that.
It's not official yet.
I was gonna say.
Something big's happening though.
On Friday of that Mania weekend, Mission Pro is going to have like a little meet and greet. And for everybody who buys a ticket, we're going to buy y'all a pint.
Shout out to Ryan. He's saying he drives from New Orleans to support Texas Indies.
Oh, Lord.
He's going to be shout out anybody that drives anywhere to see wrestling.
He's coming to Kingsville April 23rd.
But, dude, let me tell y'all, we got heavy into traveling last year. And at one point, Juan and I were like at shows in different countries on the road or different states on the road.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm tired. I don't even know how wrestlers do it. So,
yeah,
shout out to all y'all fans that are making that trek to support locals live. All that good stuff. Like, gas is expensive. So, like, shout out to all y'all that are traveling to see that.
Yeah,
for sure.
For real. April 23rd in Kingsville. Yep. Yeah, Ryan's coming. He's going to be at PPW.
Hell yeah. Ryan's going to be a great show.
Yeah. From New Orleans.
Nasty Ho's going to be there.
Oh, yes, he is.
He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit.
You know,
fucking worst.
And I just want to say, since unfortunately we ran out of time, so I cannot talk about Evil.
No!
And the positive thoughts I had. I'm sorry. Like I had this whole spiel about Evil. I had really positive things to say about him.
You're not gonna say
we're out of time. We got to do the Mount Rushmore. We have to do the Mount Rushmore.
Cop out.
I'm sorry. Next week, maybe next week I'll bring up, if I can remember, I'll bring up about Evil. But man,
I'll remind you.
Oh, we'll remind you.
Oh, don't worry.
Brad will remind you.
Oh, you will? Okay. It's just unfortunate. You know, I was ready to talk about it, and we just ran out of time. Oh, my goodness. Man.
Well, with that said, let's get to the Mount Rushmore, I guess. You know, with the sadness, but we're going to leave the Evil banner going on the bottom, just out of respect for, you know, one of the greatest ever.
What I would do.
So I'm going to go first because I think I'm going to be the probably weakest Mount Rushmore of this one.
Wait, what's... Oh, Mash. Okay, shoot.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty weak. Sorry. Just because I just went by the ones that I thought of that I think are cool, that look cool.
Okay.
Has nothing really to do. Well, it has a little bit to do with the people that wore them, but mostly just that I thought were cool. And the first one's La Parka, LA Park. I just always liked that one. It's just one of the coolest ones ever. Already got a fish stick. Man, that was better than I thought then. And I mean, plus the character and everything, I think elevated it as well. But it's a fucking cool mask. Like it's one. Like I'm not a collector of masks. I have 2 or 3, but that would be one that I would like to have. So I figured that should make my Mount Rushmore then, right? Psycho Clown, I think is one of the coolest fucking masks.
Ooh, I almost put that.
Because it's just fucking cool. It's got a lot going on more than just a plain old, you know, mask. So I like the effort, you know.
Hey, can you bring me the trash can? I have this whole list I have to put in there.
I'm just ruining everything for y'all. I love it.
Yeah.
And then like I said, I probably started stronger and weaker, but Kane is just one of my personal favorites because of the style of the mask too, and then how it was his hair, then it wasn't his hair, and then it had the hair with it, even though originally it was his real hair. But then I guess when they decided to take the mask off, he didn't have
alternate that he wore for like 2 months was slick. Remember when it was like the black base and the fire coming down was red?
But I mean, I have his mask. I mean, I have his whole costume. I dressed as in Halloween once. That's how much I like the mask. So that had to be in it. And then just my number. I mean, I know Mount Rushmore is in a 1, 2, 3, 4 thing. But Rey Mysterio's Joker mask is one of my all-time favorites when he did the Joker gimmick. I mean, he has so many great masks, and he's by far my favorite masked wrestler of all time. So he had to make my list too. So that'll be my 4. So I'm sorry if I messed y'all up. I thought it was a little weaker, but I'm a little more proud of myself.
Nah, I still got 2 alive. I'm all right.
It's cool.
I
I guess,
agree,
that's why, I guess that's why I have a show.
Do you want to say JP's real quick? He put it in the chat.
Okay, I'll just put it on the thing.
No, man, fuck JP.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's copied me. He's out.
El Generico's a good one.
That is a good
Yeah,
one.
that's a good
Juan
one.
has an El Generico mask. I love that.
Nice. He was almost made my list if I would have went a little farther because I just like him.
That's one that catches my eye every time I go over his house.
Cool. So let's go. I think we're gonna go around and in with numero uno. So we'll go dos next.
All right. So I'm not gonna change mine, but I'll get specific.
Should never
I did
change yours.
choose LA Park and La Patka as my favorite, but I'll go even a step further and say that I like his snake skin mask, where it's the white snakes when the white material is snake skin. I really enjoy that. I also have El Matematico on my list.
He was on gonna. I almost put him. I didn't though. I did it.
When we were at the other day and
Nice.
lost, I had to get it because I just always thought it was cool. We were.
Ray had it. Yeah, Ray has.
He was my avatar on my DMs at work for like a year and a half. And,
Nice.
and it was great.
I love it.
Nice.
The other one I have is Bandido.
Mm.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's unique. I think it's one of a kind, and I think he does a ton of cool shit with it. So that's what I put on there. And my last one was also Rey Mysterio, but I specifically chose the Halloween Havoc Phantom outfit he had. Nobody really like. People don't get like how deep of a reference that was at that time. Like, the Phantom is not a very well known figure. You're talking about that's a comic book character that's very old from vintage records that used to play and stuff. I used to buy those Cracker Barrel tapes and stuff, and so I just always thought to see that Phantom throwback and that call out, even though he wasn't a huge comic character, was amazing. So I chose that mask as well.
I like that mask.
Yeah, I figured with Ray we had to kind of be specific. That's why I had the specific one for him too, because he's had so many different ones.
That's what I figured. I figured Ray would make everybody's list, so I picked that one specifically.
Yeah, went with the Joker, went with the Phantom. Cool. All right, Mel.
All right.
She's like,
well, I know, I'm done. So
left.
I put Psychosis on there because I always like the Psychosis mask. I like the mask, like just like that had because he has no top on it and it's got the horns. I liked it. It was different.
Yeah.
I also chose Rey Mysterio, but I didn't choose a specific one only because I just like the looks of them in general. They're very.
Do you like his WCW version or do you like his WWE versions?
I like the WWE version. I know that's the more known one, right? But I feel like that's the mask that like transcended lucha into the American culture, because even if you're not into luchadors or lucha libre, you know the Rey mask.
Sure.
Like you have the cross and everything. I love the look of it. And then I put La Parka because all y'all guys did.
It's like Ray.
Because I like that hood character. I like the hood, but it was tied with.
That's what gets me. It's so fucking cool.
It really is, and Angel could probably help me with this because I can't think of his name right now. But it was tied with the one that looks like a ninja, the black and white one that looks like a ninja.
Hayabusa.
Is it Hayabusa?
Hayabusa.
Yeah, it looks like a ninja mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hayabusa.
Okay, so it was tied with.
You can see his ponytail at the top.
No.
Ninja Mac is what you're talking about.
No, do you know what I'm talking about, Angel?
Wait.
He's lucha, but I believe he's Mexico lucha.
I think that's timeout for him for the Ninja Mac.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
We're overdue for a timeout.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna keep going though. And then the last one is one that's just another really iconic is Mil Máscaras because he's got the M right in the middle. It's very very iconic. Very iconic.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
But Angel, help me out here, Angel. The mask that looks like a ninja.
Looks like a ninja. As I'm trying to think.
Black and white with the red.
Oh, you're talking about Pentagon. It's like either it's also Octagon. It's like Octagon Junior. But there's also another guy that looks like him in freaking Japan. JP, help me out here. Yes, I was confused.
Octagon Junior. Thank you. That's the one. I was
Big Bet.
He was my
Bet on Mac. Ninja Mac. I'm just putting Ninja Mac over. I don't even give a shit. I don't care. Ninja Mac shares her shit from time to time. You gotta love that,
Oh
man.
my god.
Oh my
Almost
god.
no wrestler shares this show. And I've seen Ninja
Great
Mac.
Sasuke, thank you.
Ninja Mac, fuck it. Ninja Mac, you're on my Mount Rushmore. I'm asking you, made it. Fuck it.
So mine are I've been said, but I have one that's kind of off the wall, but it's just because it holds a special place in my heart. But so one is Yushin Thunder Liger, because I mean, come on now, that match is iconic. And you know,
Yeah.
it's superhero, it's fucking
So many
badass.
great ones, man.
I
So
know.
many great ones.
Pentagon Jr. He's actually the first mask I've ever actually. My real first interaction with Juan was via chat, and I was like, I love. He's like, I have a Pentagon Jr. mask. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, dude. And that was when I found out he's the Don. If people that know, he when he goes to lucha shows, they kiss his hand, they kiss his pinky, because he is a Don.
Yeah, I don't know
when it comes
about the
to lucha.
level of numero uno.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I don't
insane.
know.
But yeah,
Bro,
Pentagon Jr.
I love when Uno starts negotiating because I'll just slip in
Yes.
and negotiate with him. I'll be like, fuck it, I'm gonna take some challenge.
For me, and this one is tied for me, but because they're both kind of the same. But El Santo and Blue Demon, they're both like it's just plain, but it's them. Like it's just
Yeah.
iconic. It's just perfect, right? And then this one, okay, is the Shockmaster, because there has not been a mask that has given me so much joy. No, it doesn't matter. It was just that.
It does matter. It's not a mask.
It was like a bat. Like,
It's a helmet. It's a helmet. Yeah.
No, it's Josh
That
is
was-
right. This is
that was a
against the
helmet.
rules.
No.
It's not a mask.
It's not a
It fell
mask.
off when he
Not a
tripped.
mask.
Like,
That's a
he's
helmet.
like, "Oh, let me pick
Oh,
up the
that's
helmet."
right.
It is
a
by
helmet.
definition a stormtrooper helmet.
It is.
Bedazzled, glittered.
It is
Stormtrooper.
trademarked and franchised as a helmet.
It's a helmet.
He's
It's
out
a
of here.
helmet.
Done.
He should be gone
It is
just because he's just a Shockmaster. Old tugboat coming through the wall talking about
eating shit and dropping his helmet.
He's dropped his helmet, his mask
Not
fell
his mask.
off
Yeah,
when
he dropped
came
his
through
mask.
the wall.
Yeah.
That
was
was. Oh
weird.
man.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
sit
still
out for a
feel
while
bad for the
there,
guy
so
for that one.
We'll see you next week, Angel.
And then you can
Even
talk
JP
about
said the
evil.
Shockmaster don't count.
Oh, man. All right, Uno, go ahead.
So mine are. This has to be just because the very original design I created it. So it has to be Insane's mask. I made the very first design. We modified. It used to have teeth. We took them out and just left like the rest of the thing. So that has to be one. The next one's gonna be Kanek.
Mm.
And not only he's my
I was gonna say he's your
favorite,
favorite.
my favorite of all
Represent-
time, but he's
Yeah.
like I
But
just
the
love
mask, sick. Yeah, the
the
mask.
mask like with the Magian designs and stuff. I just love it.
Yeah.
The next one it's gonna be, man, this is hard. I want to say, yeah, I have to agree with Yashin Thunder Liger. His
Yeah.
masks are just
It's
like
pretty amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like a monster, like a creature. It's just so
Yeah.
so cool. And
Yeah.
my last one will
Legendary.
be another one that is very very simple. It's Cien Caras.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just like very basic, but it's just like back then, like where all the designs were not as complex as they are now. Like it was just one of those that it would stand out. Like
Yeah.
it would look like very elegant.
Yeah. Very. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my four.
Very clean cut. Yep.
That was a
It was very good.
great Rushmore we just had. I liked it.
I know. It's very good.
Well, Angels is incomplete. He only has 3 masks.
Angel is complete for the episode though. He's done.
You're done, Angel. Come out here with a helmet.
Teasing us with evil and then coming out with a
He's in
helmet.
the chat. He's in our private chat talking about it was wonderful though.
What's
It's a
next?
helmet.
What's next? He's gonna pick a NFL helmet.
Yeah. And my final, the Yankees cap. But anyway, so all right. So how we usually end is talking about what we're gonna do next week. What's the next Mount Rushmore?
Man.
Ooh, what if we did titles like
I would-
championships, the best design?
That one, she just read my mind. I looked up and saw my title belt. I was like, let's do titles.
Titles done.
Titles done. Oh my God. I
Josh is gonna do it right now so he doesn't forget.
I do it. I always do it right away.
cannot wait.
Eventually, we should do the most remarkable arenas.
Ooh, yes. Some good arenas. Yes.
That's a good one.
That's a good one too.
Yep. So titles next week, and then we'll go to something. We'll consider that one. That's a good one too.
I like that one.
There's so many good ones we've mentioned that we probably forgot like 10.
Probably.
Oh yeah, we'll do that one next. Yeah, we forget because we're not organized at all. And we just
Nope.
do what we do.
I mean, case in
It's a
point,
wonderful-
Angel chose a helmet.
chose a helmet for masks.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you should put them on timeout for the next episode too.
Just start him up on timeout.
Bring them back. Not this episode, but the next one.
It was pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
How you just Shockmaster? God damn it, Angel.
It's a helmet. Oh my gosh, it was a helmet. And I think that's just going to be the way we go out. Yeah, it was a helmet.
It was a helmet.
Peace.
See ya.
Bye.